Hello and welcome back to Doom 2016. What are we saying, Edgy?
Don't you just love it when you have a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night?
Ooh.
You forgot that tonight's gonna be a good night.
I don't know
Harvey
where to...
Birdman's ruined that song for me.
I mean...
Who ruined that song for you?
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
That sounds like...
No.
Was that like... Was that actually like, during the Space Ghost Coast to Coast era? Or, wait, no, that's not right. Wait, no, that's not
That
true.
was after Space
That's
Ghost.
after Space Ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm dumb. Now that's a
So was this the first time in this playthrough where you didn't finish a stage at the end of a episode?
No, this is the second.
No, this is the second one.
The Argent Tower was 2 episodes too.
Because if you couldn't tell already, and by that question you definitely didn't, these levels are long. Some of the episodes are very long. And this one is just no exception.
Oh, also, there's something I've been meaning to bring up during the previous episode and technically the one before that. During the Steam Autumn Sale, I actually went ahead and picked up the Doom games. So I now own the Deluxe Edition for Doom Eternal and Doom 3, and the first two I recall already owning. But yeah, I can finally play Doom Eternal now.
Congratulations! You now own a 4, almost 5-year-old game.
Well, keep in mind, if it's on Steam, you don't own it.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm
yeah.
I'm disappointed that they had to give us that disclaimer. But I'm also glad that they gave us that disclaimer, because
Yeah.
it does show transparency towards the customer, even if it's transparency towards the one thing that they don't want to hear.
That's one thing I really admire Valve for is their transparency with like their customers, even if some of it is negative.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake. At the end of the day, you know, Valve is still a company, and they're out for making money. They've been focusing on like consumer rights, but there's a reason why people are so intrusive. Is it intrusive the word I'm looking for? There's a reason why people are so pushy about certain games going to GOG.
I wouldn't say intrusive, just more
Well,
encouraging.
If a new game is coming out and you go to the community hub on Steam, there's basically always going to be somebody going like, you should put your games on GOG.
I mean, better GOG than Epic.
or even Origin.
Well, okay,
I mean, okay.
Origin is EA.
Yeah, Origin's
Epic
EA.
is
Well,
Epic is money, and GOG is consumer. The problem is
Steam is convenient.
Yep.
well, it's convenient to have it all in one place, and I do feel like it can be a bad thing if Steam is the only one providing that place. Because need I remind you that until like Epic was pushing them, and I think, oddly enough, Discord as well, until Steam was getting pushed to actually give developers and publishers a fair share, they took their 30%, and it was non-negotiable. And that was one of the main reasons why we had stuff like Battle.net and eventually Activision scooching away from Steam. That was why Microsoft put their games out on their own platform. That was why, you know, Origin was a thing. And now I am glad that everybody seems to be getting along, except, you know, Epic, because they are still fighting a pointless war, which has gone on for far too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of one thing I kind of dislike is that GOG of all marketplaces is now actually applying some select Epic Games strategies. So there's two examples where they battled for exclusivity. The first one being a pretty high-profile Fallout 4 mod, which is basically a new game. You could download it for free, but you could only get it on GOG. And you could install it on Steam version, but for the least trouble, you'd better get the GOG version.
Yep.
And the other one was, I think it's the remaster for Croc. That isn't on Steam; it's on GOG.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad it's GOG, because that means it means it's DRM free.
Yep.
Yeah, but you can still be DRM free on Steam. It's more a thing about giving the player the option, and by going for exclusivity, you are forcing the player into, downloading a platform they might not want.
I mean, fair
I know
enough, but
I know for a fact there's a lot of people out there who are not going to be picking up the remaster just because for them Steam is what is to PC what the PlayStation Store is to the PlayStation.
I mean, fair enough, but like, I really don't think like exclusivity is killing the gaming industry.
I really don't either.
It's not, and it really isn't. And if anything,
And I don't know why.
It makes innovation happen, but there's a difference between making your games exclusive to sell people to your platform, and just buying a game away from someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I don't really get why like companies are so afraid to be exclusive. It's probably because they don't. It's probably because they don't really. It's probably because what you said. They're afraid. They're just afraid of people being kind of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm tired. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, same. Fun fact: this day I slept for 5 hours, and I've been awake for almost 12.
Well, here's the thing. I slept for like 6.5, and I've just woken up like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, imagine waking up at 4 p.m.
And it's not 4 p.m., it's 3:30, but whatever.
Well, I wasn't talking about you.
Okay, well, fair enough. Anyway, the I can't speak. Super shotgun is pretty good.
It's good.
And unlike, I think this is also a mechanic in the original Doom as well. Like, it uses 2 shotgun shells.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like that balance. It's a good balance.
Yeah,
for sure.
You get very powerful shots, but you're using less ammo, more ammo.
Is it possible to get an odd number of shots for this weapon?
No.
I mean,
okay, that's good.
Well, I mean, you can upgrade your frickin' weapon capacity, as well as your health and your armor.
Yeah, but it's not possible. It's not possible to be like hanging at 1 for this.
No,
because that's one thing I hate when you have a low number that isn't 0 and you cannot make it 0.
Yeah.
Also, these guys, the Barons of Hell, are just upgraded versions of the Hell Knights.
Yep, they are. They really are.
So that's where Breath of the Wild got the idea from.
I don't know what the hell that means, but okay.
Well, basically, Breath of the Wild doesn't have that much in enemy variety. It just gives you more difficult versions of certain enemies, signified by a different color.
Well, that being said, it's like, it's still a bit of variety, despite the fact that it isn't really. But it certainly feels like it's variety, and that's what's important to people nowadays.
I'm still debating on if I'm doing, well, when I'm doing Breath of the Wild, how I'm going to tackle that playthrough.
I mean, you're probably just gonna make it as long as possible, right?
Well, I don't feel like taking you guys for the ride of hunting down every piece of.
You
of
are not.
Korok
I will state this right now. You are not hunting down for poop.
You're not hunting. You're not hunting
seed for poop.
You're not hunting down seeds for a golden shit.
Which does.
Yeah, no, I'm not
doesn't even
I'm
do
not doing
anything in the
that.
sequel.
Bragging rights.
No,
Those are always the worst.
The farthest I'm willing to go is doing every shrine, but I don't even think I will do that. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna go for all the divine beasts, maybe some shrines, maybe the Master Sword.
I mean,
maybe I'll be going for that.
I'll honestly take a postcard than a frickin' golden shit.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it boils down to the same thing. It's an acknowledgement,
but it's also
of what you did, and it's only designed to make you feel bad.
It's an insult to you being a completionist.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's also an insult if you are a completionist, if you're committing charity fraud. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just walk around. You see that area down there? That's a Doom. That's a classic Doom part of the level.
Are you going to get it?
Like I showed you, like in episode 2 of this. There's every single stage has like a classic Doom area, exactly. And there's like a secret way of getting it, and this is not how you get it. You don't shoot it or you melee it. You find you just usually find a switch or something like that. Then you just find a way to get in there and just have it's usually a secret.
Was it one of the late game stages where you had to shoot like a purple skull?
I didn't do that, but if there is, I didn't do it.
All right. Yeah.
I didn't even know, like, I don't really know like half of the other secrets. I wasn't even going for 100% on this. I'm just going normally.
Yeah. This is the kind of game where if you're just blazing through it, you can have a smooth, enjoyable 8 hours, I'd say.
I'd say like 10.
But
yeah. Yeah,
it depends on how fast you are about it. But if you go for like completion, getting every single thing, you can easily like triple, quadruple the length of every stage. Because the stages get bigger. There's more things to collect, and yeah, Yeah,
this is pretty much just Doom 2016 and Eternal are pretty much just pseudo open worlds in a way, but there's still a beginning and end of, there's still like stages, but it's still like open-ish, as you can see by the compass on the top there, signifying that these levels are gigantic.
Well,
yeah.
to be fair, the compass is typical Bethesda.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. But like, that doesn't mean other companies aren't allowed to use it unless it has been patented by Bethesda.
It hasn't, and I can tell because the post-Syndicate Assassin's Creed games do exactly that.
Okay, good.
Borderlands does it.
I mean,
well, at least the first one.
Okay, well, Assassin's Creed aside, I'm glad that it isn't patented, because then we wouldn't have like games like fucking anything that isn't from Bethesda.
I mean, I still don't know if I actually prefer.
I actually
the,
thought you were going to fall right to the.
I did.
Fall right to your death.
I almost did, but I did
I know
not.
that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, you're going to go back and you're going to fall to your death.
that would
and you kept that in.
that would have been pretty funny, and I would have kept it
That
in as well.
really would have. It really would have. Like, I got this. Oh no, you don't.
See, this is why I keep
But yeah.
this is why I keep all the deaths in a la Edgy, because it's funny. Because it's funny seeing me fuck up.
It depends on the death. It depends on the death.
Yeah, at some point you just want to pull a Monty Python and get on with it.
I mean, guess so, yeah.
But to go back to what I was saying, I'm honestly not sure if I actually prefer like the compass or the minimap.
Or both.
It depends. Honestly, it depends.
Yeah.
Something
But you know
like
what?
if something like this feels better with the map being very easily accessible, because it's like that's the first thing that pops up when you go to the menu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that is fine. If it's something like Borderlands where you quit, exited out, depends on where your thing starts. That I prefer the minimap on my screen.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I feel should be a thing, and I'm surprised it hasn't been attempted yet. But imagine if, like, there's going to be an accessory for your PS5 or your Xbox One, where it's basically just a sort of like tablet, and its sole dedication is showing you a minimap that you can just whip up at any times and place like markers. Wouldn't that be great? That's the kind of thing that if
you mean like GTA?
that's the
like
kind
the
of that's the kind of thing that if they put it out there, it can sell millions of
The
units.
Pip-Boy app. The Pip-Boy app for Fallout 4.
Well, no, because
That's literally
I
what
think
that
that
is.
I think that's only a way to like change your weapons.
Well, I've never played
No,
Fallout 4, so I wouldn't know.
but like all jokes aside, I never used the Pip-Boy app, to be honest. I downloaded it out of curiosity, but I remember when Fallout 4 was one of those games that came out in the golden age of companion apps, because smartphones were still like new and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is great." And I had like so many companion apps. I had the Watch Dogs companion app, and that companion app is great because it actually unlocks a game mode that you can play against someone playing the console game, and the person playing the console game is being chased by the police, and you on the companion app have to deploy units. It's actually pretty amazing, and I'm surprised we haven't seen anything like that since. But Watch Dogs had a companion app. Assassin's Creed Unity had a companion app, which also had like a bunch of mini games in it that unlock stuff in the main game. I'm not sure if the app is still up or if it still works. Metal Gear
Ubisoft,
Solid.
they probably doesn't.
Well, it's not Square Enix,
Yeah. Well,
but
Watch Dogs is
Metal-
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So,
So Assassin's Creed.
no shit. I know that already. Everyone knows that.
I mean, they did collab with each other, but no. That aside, I still think it's a damn shame that they cancelled or they took down Assassin's Creed Identity, the mobile game, because I bought that at one point, but I never got to experience it. But no, Metal Gear Solid 5 was also a companion app I had.
This is very
but
red.
It was kind of a weird companion app. Not because, like, not in terms of functionality or something, but because of the platforms it supported. Metal Gear Solid 5 came out on Steam, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. And for whatever reason, the only platforms allowing support for a companion app were PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
What?
I'm kind of wondering why not PC.
Really weird.
I think it's. I
Yeah.
think that's just Konami being like Konami.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with. Maybe it had something to do with the wireless properties of those devices.
Yeah, this took me. Yeah,
That's
this took me a while.
That's basically the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah. So going back to the gameplay, you notice that I use the precision shot constantly on the Gauss cannon, and
Yeah.
for good reason, because it's it's possibly my favorite weapon mod in the entire game, alongside remote detonators for the rockets.
Yeah. No, I'm personally pretty simple. I like
For
the
rocket launcher.
I like the explosive shotgun.
I do too. Also, this is the Gauss cannon is not a real cannon.
It is.
You're a real cannon.
I mean, he does destroy ships. Hey,
I what?
Huh?
you destroy ships. You know, like the. What do a cannon and a cannon have in common? They both destroy ships.
They both destroy ships.
I don't know where I was going with that. You're not really wrong to bust ships.
You really don't.
Pirate. Pirate.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: there is an actual rail cannon in this game. It's just the chain. It's just the chain gun.
So, did you get the I know we're not there yet, but did you get the achievement for killing yourself with the BFG?
No, I don't think I did.
All right. Well then, I'll talk about it when we get to the BFG division, because I do think it's really funny.
I.
Yeah, isn't it super easy to?
Yeah. It's not related to the BFG itself, but in one of the rooms there's a prototype, and you can make it fire, and if you stand between the prototype and its target, you can get hit with it and immediately die. I love achievements for stupid stuff. I know that
I do too.
I know that I brought it up before, but the one in Prey, where at the beginning you can get killed by the helicopter blades, that's one I also fucking love.
Damn.
Yep. I found that one out accidentally in my playthrough.
You just go right in front of the cannon and just get a hole through your chest and die. I think I know of that achievement, but I didn't do it. Spoiler alert.
I mean, I'd say that Doom guy seems like the kind of guy who can survive getting a hole shot in his body, but then I realize that's not a Doom thing, that's a Wolfenstein thing.
I mean, it's also technically Doom. It also is actually no. It also is Doom because, like you said, there's an achievement that you can kill yourself with something with the freaking prototype thing.
But that's when you die from it. He doesn't walk away from something that should clearly kill him.
No
Unlike Wolfenstein 2: The Colossus, where you literally get executed by getting beheaded, but then your head gets intercepted by your squad mates, and they put you on a new body. That is something that actually happens, and people wonder why nobody takes Wolfenstein seriously anymore.
I mean, to be fair, that one stopped after the teal glow.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really took
Wolfenstein. For record's sake, that's the newer Wolfenstein game.
I mean, let's be real.
Literally the 3D one titled Wolfenstein.
I mean, let's be real here. Nobody really took Wolfenstein seriously, considering the subject matter behind it.
Well, I mean, I still think that some people took it a bit serious, but most likely at not the beginning, but the PS2 game, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I think that one was a bit serious.
I mean, yep, I wouldn't put it past it, to be honest, if they tried to do something different with Wolfenstein like they did with Doom.
Yeah, but Wolfenstein is one of those. Is Wolfenstein a cycle series?
What's a cycle series?
Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. because we had Return to Castle Wolfenstein on, I think, Xbox and PS2, which was good. Then we had Wolfenstein on PS3 and Xbox 360. Then we got the New Order, which was good. Then we got The Old Blood, which was not good. Then we got the New Colossus, and then we got Youngblood. Oh, and honorable mention goes to Cyberpilot, which, need I remind you, is the game that made me puke. Registered trademark.
I don't honestly know if the PS3 360 PC one is a bad game. Because I've seen a review of it, but the reviewer kind of got bored of the game.
From the sounds of it, Edgy,
Yeah.
and from the sounds of it, Edgy, you make it sound like it is the case that Wolfenstein is a whatever you said the kind of game was, the kind that flops
Cycle
back.
series.
Yeah, you make
Yeah.
it sound like it is a cycle series just from your explanation.
Yeah.
So I don't really know definitively, but I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, because it's not like, you know, Wolfenstein is one of those. I think it's also one of the main reasons why we're not really seeing new Wolfenstein games anymore, because nobody goes out there and be like, oh my god, it's a new Wolfenstein, when Doom is obviously the main franchise. That's the one that everybody enjoys.
And also Quake.
Even if no,
Quake to
Quake
a degree.
Champions flopped.
Quake to a degree.
Quake Champions flopped, and they haven't tried.
I mean, they
I mean,
tried.
I've heard-
I don't think that Quake.
I've heard they're doing a new one.
Like a proper
Right.
Quake game?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, they're trying. Okay, I guess are trying again after they failed getting Quake back
I mean,
on like
I'm-
they did with Doom and Wolfenstein. I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I still remember Quake Champions was such a weird case.
It
'Cause
is.
if I recall correctly,
I guess not.
when it was on beta, they only put it out on their Bethesda.net launcher, which, yeah, remember that? It was the main reason why you couldn't play Fallout 76 originally on Steam. Oh no, you couldn't play. Whatever.
Who gives a
No,
shit about
it's-
not Wolfenstein? Who gives a fuck about?
I don't think it launched on Steam. It eventually came to Steam
yeah,
alongside its Bethesda.net counterpart, but
Yeah.
nobody bought it. So they eventually went free to play, and that kind of got people interested.
I mean, nobody bought it. Nobody bought 76 because of how like horribly rushed it was at launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Quake Champions, I do have. It's one of the fond. It's. I remember it for one reason alone. It's the first beta I ever tried out that forced me to sign a non-disclosure or a non-disclosure agreement.
Ooh,
Fuck.
fancy.
Well, you just. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was weird.
And of course, I did the only natural thing. I took a screenshot of the non-disclosure agreement and I posted it on Facebook because I haven't agreed to it at the time.
You can't really technically. I guess your logic is you can't really get in trouble for breaking NDA when you haven't even agreed to the NDA in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you really can't.
need I remind you that's how people found out that Deadlocked was a thing?
The only deadlocked I know is Ratchet, and that's just me having Ratchet brain. That's just me.
No, Deadlock is a Valve game. I think that it can currently be played by everybody, but originally it was only given out to a few people, but they could infinitely like invite people on the friend list. So it's kind of one of those virus kinds of spreads, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be given by other people, and yeah, it had a non-disclosure agreement, and one of the reviewers got a code for or got an invite for it. They declined it, and they put it on their blog like, "There's a game called Deadlocked. It's all we know about it, but there is a game called Deadlocked."
Why did they think signing a non-disclosure agreement to randos is a good idea?
I don't know.
Because-
And it could be worse. At least they didn't apply the Ubisoft strategy, which I know we're getting off topic, but Yu, would
And
you
getting
mind
lost
explaining
and-
what the would you mind explaining what I refer to when I say the Ubisoft strategy?
And that's and also this-
Not Sea of Thieves, Skull and Crossbones.
I mean, we're getting like pretty long into this.
Yeah, this will be the last thing. Basically, and Edgy can correct me if I'm wrong on this, because my memory is really bad. I believe that the entire thing had the back had an entire page of your UI address or
Your-
IP address, one of those.
Your screen, if you played the closed beta or alpha or whatever the fuck it was called for Skull and Bones,
Bones,
your
thank
entire screen was filled with a watermark of 3 things. The first one being your Ubisoft
Account,
name,
email.
or at the very least your like PSN or actually I think you need that a Ubisoft Connect thing. Your Ubisoft username, at least on PC. The second thing was your email address.
Yeah,
and the
your
third
email
thing,
address, there we go.
and the third thing was a token which is always associated with your Ubisoft account, just in the case you change both your email address and your username.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
3 things Ubisoft could do to pin you down in
Yeah.
case you violated NDA, and was it all worth it for Skull and Bones?
absolutely fucking not.
No, because Sea of Thieves is the better game.
Also, quadruple A games just make no sense
No,
to me.
also, tangent over. Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed. Go to bed, you noobs.
Go the fuck to sleep.